looks down the roster and then puts a little bullseye on one player?
Listen,
or is everybody
Wally put a bullseye on himself this week with the guaranteed win?
He did guarantee a win. There's Terry Grant, penalty flag. On the spot, about 2 yards, almost 3 yards short of a first down, but Glenn Johnson sorts it out. It's against the Tiger Cats.
Holding, Hamilton number 67. Penalties decline. Third down.
And they would decline it. Being a long third down gamble for the Ticats.
Well, the Ticats are going to opt for the field position here and hopefully pin the Argos deep and hope that the trend of the Argos not being able to move the football plays out.
Tiger Cats lit it up in the first half with some big plays. Not so much here in the second. Again, scoreless in the third quarter, and they have kept the Toronto Argonauts in it. And watch out, because number 2 looms, and Justin Medlock now will throw it, and Darcy Brown has a first down and much more. Brown chugging inside the 20-yard line. Touché.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Well, 2 punters tonight who are perfect passing the football.
Darcy Brown lines up as the deep back to the left side of your screen. Slips out the opposite way. Anthony Cannon in position, but a great effort by Darcy Brown to fight off that tackle. Former first-round pick out of St. Mary's University from Woodland Secondary School in Mississauga.
Did not have to throw it very far. So Brad Miller comes up with a gadget of his own and into the red zone, which is bad news for the Argos. Avon Coburn, delayed draw. Let's see where they spot the football here. And again, if the Tiger Cats aren't scoring touchdowns, which they do at about 89, almost 90% of the time from the 20-yard in, that's what they define as the red zone or green zone for some teams. If they're not scoring touchdowns, they're getting field goals too. They're almost 100%.
Yeah, and there's the touchdown number by itself is remarkable, but as you said, Justin Medlock has been money, as he should be from this range as well. That Hamilton, every time inside the 20 this season, has scored points every time.
2nd and 7, big down here. Argos trying to hold him to a field goal. Glenn is sacked. And that was a huge play by the Toronto Argonauts front 7. Alex Busby comes up with a takedown.
And that's big anytime you can keep the Hamilton Tiger Cats from scoring 7 when they get in deep. Especially changing the momentum after a big play. Busby spelling Kevin Huntley at tackle on this one, just keeps the motor churning. Gets the edge on Simeon Rotier, the right guard.
Medlock, 27-yard try here. He's only missed once inside the 30 this season. Penalty flag flew, though, as you saw. Justin Medlock having an outstanding season, as are so many kickers in the CFL, including Paul McCallum, whose streak continued last night to 27 in a row now out in BC.
Holding, Hamilton number 39. 10-yard penalty, repeat, third down.
So 27 becomes 37 this time. For Justin Medlock. Augie Baranachea holding on that play. The last time the Toronto Argonauts beat the Hamilton Tiger Cats 5 games ago, Justin Medlock got the game-winning field goal for Toronto.
An ironic twist.
Money, just money. Justin Medlock with 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. And the lead is now 20-9. And let's go to the sideline now with a busy Sarah Orlesky down there. A lot of injuries.
Well, Rod, the good news for Argos fans is that it appears that Stephen Giles, despite still walking with a limp with that right ankle, that he appeared to injured in that last play. He is going to go back on. He gave me the thumbs up. Sammy Trinks, who we saw on the sidelines before, he had ice on the left knee. The ice is off now, but he hasn't moved from the bench since he came onto the sidelines. The recently acquired Milt Collins for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, he has a lower body muscle strain. He tells me his day is done.
Thanks, Sarah. Milt's been on that bench for a while now, and looks like times to be meditating or soothing the pain. And Milt Collins, his first week with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, traded from the Calgary Stampeders. Last week actually played against the Cats. Was on the roster for the Stamps, and then ended up in Hamilton.
Well, the Hamilton Tiger Cats have shuffled around that secondary repeatedly this season, trying to find the right combination of guys and in the right positions. Milt Collins is a guy that defensive coordinator Corey Chamblin knows well, having coached him in Calgary. Collins outstanding at free safety there. He had been moved from the free safety spot this season. So the deal kind of made sense for both teams.
Medlock will kick. And Byron Parker gives it to Chad Owens. Owens sprinting now. Chad Owens to the midfield stripe and beyond. Fumbled the football, but the Argos will hang on the biggest play of the game for the Toronto Argonauts. And it was the dangerous Chad Owens. Found some room, and this whole play didn't exactly start very comfortably. Byron Parker taking the ball and handing it off. Chad Owens looked like he was calling for it.
In the end, a good decision by Byron Parker. Give it to the fast guy.
And he did, and Chad Owens leads the CFL in combined yardage. Last year's Special Teams Player of the Year, a game changer, game breaker. This will be the final play of the third quarter. Teams have traded field goals here in the second half. Corey Boyd head down. Bashes with Stevie Baggs. Picks up about 4 yards. The Argos need to play comeback in the fourth quarter. 20-9, Ticats. A lot of scoring going on, a lot of offense, not so much. Only the big plays from the Tiger Cats in the first half. Teams trade field goals, 11-point Ticat advantage, but the Argos somehow still in this game.
Yeah, and the Tiger Cats haven't cashed in their opportunities as well. A big stop defensively by the Toronto Argonauts on the last red zone possession by the Hamilton Tiger Cats, limiting them to 3 points. If their offense or special teams can just come up with a play in this ball game, they've got a chance.
And Chad Owens just provided that with his best return of the game. That special team, extra special for the Argos. They will scrimmage here from the Hamilton 41.5-yard line. So already in very good position. They've just been stalling and stalling and stalling, particularly in second down conversions. And this is another second down. And they give it, no they don't. Giles to the far side, and Jermaine Copeland, vintage Jermaine Copeland. Giles still limping. And that moves the sticks very close to the red zone for the Argos.
A gutsy second down throw from the hobbling Stephen Giles. Big catch from the veteran Jermaine Copeland. That's what you need your leader to do.
One of the remarkable stats, maybe not so remarkable given the ineptitude of the Argo offense this season, is that Jermaine Copeland and Chad Owens both have yet to record offensive touchdowns this season. Corey Boyd, Keith Knowlton, and Stephen Giles playing through pain here. And at one point, you got to think that he's going to have to throw in the white towel, because Dalton Bell is now coming in.
Well, one of the things that you were going to see start to happen is as Stephen Giles' limp became more and more pronounced, that Hamilton defense was going to become very aware that he's not a threat to run the football. That was going to compromise the effectiveness of Corey Boyd. Unfortunately, a change that had to be made.
Second down again. Bell, here's the rush, hangs in, decides to take it himself. And Dalton Bell gets rung up. Last year's tackle leader, Jamal Johnson. Markeith Knowlton, Defensive Player of the Year. Also in on that series. Dalton Bell gets another knock.
Well, I can't help thinking that Dalton Bell is still a little gun-shy after that rough outing against the BC Lions. At both times that he's dropped back to throw the football, he's looked very tentative, very jumpy in the pocket.
Prefontaine again. Been a busy guy tonight. This one just squeezes through the uprights. 4 Noel Prefontaine field goals. That's all the Argos scoring so. Time to track the sack attack. Brought to you by Purolator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Their lead 2 over the BC Lions. Just 1 sack in this game by the Argos' Alex Busby. Some pressure now, the Argos do on Kevin Glenn. 1 possession football game. Glenn rolling out of trouble, comes back the other way. Maurice Mann collects the football up near the Hamilton 50-yard line. Good play call by Kevin Glenn again.
Kevin Glenn getting flushed out of the pocket. Slips that one into Maurice Mann. Ticats continue to mix up those offensive packages, now going back to the double tight formation.
Orlando Steinauer has seen his defense on the field a whole lot here. Lots of time left. Terry Brandt slipped. That's good news for the Argos. Byron Parker to finish him off. It'll be second down. Looks like a throwing down again for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Yeah, the Argos defense with that stop, forcing Hamilton into the second and long. An opportunity to get some pressure on Kevin Glenn.
Kevin Glenn, who started this game, throwing an interception on his first toss, first play from scrimmage. 2 picks in the first half, and the Argos were unable to get any points off those turnovers. It's really been a story in this ball game that has persisted. Glenn with the drop, hangs in the pocket, deep downfield now, and hauling it in is Marcus Thigpen. What a catch! This guy can do it all.
Well, Marcus Thigpen picks up where he left off last week. Let's look at the protection first afforded by this offensive line. 5-on-5 again. The running back Terry Grant steps in to be the 6th man. Marcus Thigpen, the middle receiver. That side, this one takes some time to develop. That's why the protection was so critical. Kevin Glenn, beautiful throw right on the money. Marcus Thigpen, great concentration to make the catch.
This O-line that's had to do a lot of shuffling with Marwan Hage out. Second in the CFL in giving up sacks. Have only given up 2 sacks over the last 2 weeks. Great protection for Glenn. And once again, they find themselves in the red zone. 4 receivers set to his left. And another great catch. Chris Williams to the 10. And the Cats will go 1st and goal now.
Well, this team just seems to light up every time they get close to the goal line. The excitement level picks up. You see a little more zip on the throw from Kevin Glenn. Like a team of sharks, they just smell blood.
Earlier tonight, Chris Williams scored the touchdown. Previous trip to the red zone. There he is lined up at the top of your screen. 1st and goal. Glenn. The handoff. Grant is caught up. Byron Parker. Stalwart on defense. There's a penalty flag in the end zone. Lynn J. Shell into it. with a Tiger Cat.
I believe that was the guard, Pete Diakowski, and I think he's the one who's going to end up getting the flag here.
There's Diakowski, LSU product of Vancouver. They continue to talk about it here.
Well, both guys took shots at each other in the end zone. But when it's a 300-pound guy and a 190-pound guy, which guy do you think is going to fall down?
With offsetting major fouls, number 67, unnecessary roughness for Hamilton, and number 21, Toronto. They were dead ball fouls. It's second down. Second down.
Diakowski was just trying to block downfield, ended up chasing Lin-Jay Shell in the end zone. After a big collision, Shell went back and took a shot at the big fella. With the official right there, he saw both the action and the retaliation.
Seen some end zone confrontations the last 18 hours or so last night at BC. Jerome Messam, a bunch of Lions. Glenn picked off by Lin-Jay Shell. Shell fumbled the football. Kevin Glenn gets it back.
First down, Tiger Cats.
Bad news, pickoff. Good news, recover your own fumble. After the interception, Lin-Jay Shell here fumbles the football.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovery. Possession had changed. It's 1st and 10 Hamilton.
Lin-Jay Shell not exactly hanging on to that football. That's why it slipped from his grasp. So the ball now out past the red zone to the 25-yard line. But a fresh set of downs again for the Cats.
Well, the key for Lin-Jay Shell here is to shake that one off.
Chris Williams. Keith Foley is there to make the shoestring tackle. So the Argos get a takeaway and then a giveaway on the same play. It'll be second down now and 6 yards to go for the Tiger Cats. Just over 8 minutes to go in an 8-point game.
Now, I suppose the official ruling with the change of possession is that the Hamilton Tiger Cats' green zone perfection streak of always getting a touchdown or field goal is now over.
You would think. And penalty flag. Play clock had come down to 2 seconds, so it's not a time count violation.
Procedure, Hamilton number 65. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat.
Right guard Simeon Rotier with the early movement. Bobbed his head out of his stance. Tried to freeze and hide it. It was detected by the official.
And Ronald Flemings. And Argos need a defensive stop here. Here's the rush. Good play again. Terry Grant to the 10, to the 5, inside the 5-yard line. Well, a star has been born the last couple of weeks, and we've got a fight going on here.
Ricky Foley just took a late run at the offensive lineman Belton Johnson.
And they are really going at it here.
Foley took a huge run at Johnson. I don't know what happened prior to that. Foley got up off the ground behind the play.